Man, I love that music. I just sit here and dance in my seat. All right, welcome to day 379 to 21 days to finding peace in times of great change. No, it is not. I feel like I've been doing this my whole life, though, in the best possible way. And we are on day 20, I think. And tonight we have another special guest, one of my friends from Canada, which I will get to in a second. But wherever you are in the world, just type in where you're at. What's your name? What's your place of living? And what's your word for the day? And any comments you want to say that kind of share about what's up for you. For me, I just came from this amazing experience. Our guest last night, Marina, we went over to her place for the energy enhancement system, and it was a gong ceremony. It was so cool. And man, did I just disappear and float away. And like I said, if you're ever in the area, make sure you check out her EE system because it really is so special. I want to welcome everybody who's coming today. Today was a kind of a follow-up day for embodiment. It was so incredibly powerful. Oh man, sometimes you guys, I just feel sometimes I'm just so present to how blessed we are to be able to transmute and transform just the hardest things. And just thank you to everyone who is embodiment. I see a bunch of you here, so I'm just saying thank you. Please make sure that you send this series out to people, the 21 days. It's meant to assist people in these times of great intensity. You can go to our the Wide Awakening channel on YouTube and find it, and the entire 21 days. You don't have to do them in sequence. If you had a day that you loved, play it for the next 6 months for yourself. If you want to make sure that your friends and family have access to something that was directly meant to assist and help in these crazy times, these times of evolution, the evolutions are the evolutions, the contrasts, the changes in our society are going to be happening at a pretty epic speed for the years to come. And so that is why we're here, is to help you have the tools to catch up, but ultimately entirely catch up to the operating system that's being formulated for how we're going to interact. The kids that are going to be born these days, man, they're born to be plugged into an entirely different world, which operates at a much more intuitive pace. So if you're ready to be reborn without having to leave your body, that's what we're all about. So welcome to everybody. And I want to welcome our guest tonight, who is Tanya Lennox. She is from Ontario in Canada. She was my neighbor until I moved. And Tanya's just, I met her the most deeply through our really beautiful program called Flight School, and that was a year long, and you just get to know someone so deeply. And what I came to know about Tanya is that anyone with a heart big enough to go through what she went through has to be activating the world about the power of the heart to heal just about anything. And the truth is that's exactly what she does, as a matter of fact, through all sorts of modalities. And she has a circle that, my bestie Jeannie goes to. She goes down to this, beautiful, amazing circle that Tanya holds every week, Tanya?
Every month.
Every month.
Yeah.
And Jeannie has actually said to me how much she loves going. So I knew that it was a great day to be able to and plus I also spent this morning with you, Tanya, and
Yes.
that was just so good, and oh my god, what we moved through,
Mhm.
that was delicious for me and for everybody there together, just super juicy. So, dude, I would love for you to share with everybody what you do and why you do it.
Hmm. What I do? Well, I that's a tough one.
I know, I know,
What I
I
do?
know, I
I
know. It's like, how do you describe okay, wait a second, let me say it a different way. How did you come to what you do now? That's better.
oh, that's easier.
Yeah.
Um, because I have this huge passion for um, from my own journey too. That's led me to this place. But I have this deep love for humanity, and I have this huge passion for us to return to our hearts, to remember who we really are, that we are so much more than this physical body. And I've been aware of that for so long in my life um, that I just want to share it. That I want to share that there's so much more than all the limitations we're in, and that we create for ourselves. So that's I love to assist.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And, and why what was it that dropped in? Because I feel like there's something significant that dropped in because I remember in flight school or after flight school or sometime, you were talking about the work around you called it the bosom of my heart.
Yes.
And so where did that like, what birthed that?
Oh, I get very downloaded when I'm out in nature. It's a way I come back into my presence. It feeds my soul. And I was on a retreat, and I was out in the woods, and I just stopped and looked up into these beautiful ancient cedars, and I just heard within the bosom of my heart, fill in the blank. And I immediately heard myself saying, within the bosom of my heart is the wisdom of my being. And that's where it was birthed. And I realized that it was, I did a lot of writing on it, and came to a place where I really just felt this alignment within the bosom of my heart. I am one heart with the earth, and one heart with the universe, in a state of bliss that I have never felt like that before. And I knew this was for more than just me, that it was to be shared. I brought it into my practice, into my circle,
Very cool.
and we'll write a book.
Yes, are writing a book.
Our writing book.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So, dude, so give us a sense of what we're going to be experiencing tonight with you and why you chose what you chose to do.
Hmm. Well, when you invited me and I thought about my heart, I just immediately heard this title, In the Garden of My Heart. And I love the analogy. I'm a I'm an avid gardener. It's a passion of mine, and I love the analogy that our heart is like a garden, because when we think about gardening, we're planting seeds, we're cultivating, we're harvesting. And so for me, it's this great analogy of when we feel into our heart, what dreams are there? What ideas are we planting? And how are we cultivating our heart, which I feel is really important right now where we are in the world, is like,
Mhm.
how are we cultivating our heart? How are you coming back to a place of self-love? How deeply are you loving yourself? You know, Compassion and gratitude are all ways that we can cultivate our heart. And then there's the harvest. What are you reaping from the benefits of being in your presence?
Mm,
So I
yeah.
just I love that analogy. And then when I Googled it, I found out, oh, there's a whole um, reference to it biblically,
Yes.
to the garden of your heart. And Rumi, of course, speaks in many ways about the garden of your heart.
Ah, very cool. So look at you know I love me some Rumi. I mean,
Yes,
I love Rumi.
we're
I
going
love
to end
him.
with some Rumi.
Oh, that's good because I quote him everywhere. Like that guy was tuned in. He's
Yeah.
definitely on the same page. So since that's how you came to it, And these are times where we could feel a lot of anxiety. It's almost like the mind needs a place to go, and the garden of the heart sounds like an amazing place to go to actually play and transcend its busyness in trying to micromanage the scary potentials, and instead using it productively to go to a different place that actually creates the world that we want.
Yeah.
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 So, yeah.
Yeah. And I thought we'd start with a little breathing exercise that you can use anywhere. And I know you've had on your 21 days, you've had some other speakers speak
Yeah.
about breathing exercise. This is
Yeah.
one I don't think's come up. I've only got up to day 13, but
It hasn't.
this one's come up, figure eight
Nope,
breathing.
it has not. So, dude, I'm going to leave you to it to guide us, and I'm going to enjoy the journey with you.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So I thought we would start with some figure eight breathing. And we start at the center of our heart. And your heart is that center point in the figure eight. And so on our out breath, I'll just describe it first. On our out breath, we're going to breathe down into the heart of the earth. And then we're going to bring back Mother Earth's energy up into the back of our heart. And then we're going to breathe out from the front of the heart up into the source, however you see that, the heart of God, heart of source, and then breathe that beautiful energy back into the back of your heart. And I'll guide you initially, and then eventually you'll move that at your own pace. Your heart's the center point. All right, so just close your eyes and imagine this figure eight. And as you breathe out, you can use your hand if it helps. As you breathe out, breathe down into the heart of the earth. And breathe that beautiful energy of Mother Earth, her caring and nurturing, back up into the back of your heart. And as you breathe out from the front of your heart, breathe up into Source and breathe the energy of Source back into the back of your heart. Breathe out into the heart of the earth, connecting with the minerals, the nurturing of Mother Earth, the crystals. Breathing up into the back of your heart, up into the front of your heart, up into the universe and back. Now just take a few minutes and breathe that at your own pace. And eventually you may find that the bottom becomes one full, like in breath for the bottom loop and the out breath for the top loop. And as you breathe this figure eight, you're beginning to form the flower of life, because the figure eight will go out into all directions, 3D around you. As you feel yourself landing in your heart, knowing you're connected to the earth and you're connected to Source. A few more breaths. And as you feel yourself settling into your heart, you notice there is a path before you. And you feel drawn to start down this path. You can hear some birds chirping, and in the distance there's a babbling creek, and you feel the pull. And so you start down this path. It's a beautiful path. And you feel the pull stronger and stronger, pulling you forward, and an excitement around where this path is going. And as you round the bend, you step into this most beautiful garden. It's the most beautiful garden that you have ever seen. And you feel the awe and the wonder as you look around you. There's so much light. The sun is pouring through. There's this beautiful melody of tonal music that you realize is coming from the flowers that are in your garden and the trees and the bushes. Unlike music that we're used to hearing, it's very different, but you can feel it going through your body into every cell. And as you step further into your garden, you can feel the magic in the air. And you look around and take in what is in your garden. What do you see? What are the flowers like? What colors? How vivid are the colors? And you can see the babbling creek that you could hear as you were walking down the path. And you wander over and you can see the sun sparkling on the water. And the sound of the babbling is soothing. You can feel the warmth of the sun on your face. And you can see the trees welcoming you, waving their branches and arms, welcoming you to this special place, to this special garden. And as you look around, you see there is a spot to sit. Maybe it's a bench. Maybe it's a beautiful rock or a log. And you wander over to have a seat and take in the beauty that is around you and the magnificence that you can feel. There is an aliveness. And you feel a delight. And as you take a deep breath and you breathe this in, you feel your heart expanding. There is just so much beauty. And the flowers are waving at you, and the butterflies are dancing. There is a lot of joy. And they're so glad you're here. And as you're sitting there, you begin to feel that there are some other qualities in this garden, qualities that you can feel. There is so much love, pure love. Breathe that in. No strings, no judgments, pure love. And you can feel the compassion as you take that love in, the compassion for yourself and for others. And you're aware of this interconnectedness with everything that's in your garden, between the rocks and the minerals and the trees and the moss and the flowers, the birds. You can feel this interconnectedness in yourself. There is no separation. And you realize this is home. This is where I belong. I'm home. And as you smell the sweet fragrance of the flowers, you see there is no separation between you and this fragrance and the flower and the life around you. You are it. You are this beauty. You are this stunning magnificence that you feel and see. And as you look around your garden, is there a tree or a flower or a rock? Is there something that calls out to you in your garden? That maybe has a message for you? And you take a moment as you receive your message to give thanks. And as you look around this beautiful space, this space that's you, You're aware that there may be some things to explore here, some things that may be hidden under that rock or behind that rose bush for you to discover. And this space is always available to you because it's you. You are the garden. You are the garden of your heart. And you can feel that into every cell of your being. Every cell of your being is resonating with the love and the light and the compassion and the beauty and the magnificence of your garden, of your heart. And so on your next breath, it's a breath of gratitude for this beautiful space that you are. And we take another breath of gratitude for the love that you are. This is the essence of who you are, the bosom of your heart. And as you open your eyes and come back into the room, like this is with you, it's with you. You are it. And so, very gently, bring your presence to this moment. And while we're in this space, I'd like to read a poem by Rumi called The Garden of Your Heart. Come, I'll show you the enchanted garden of your heart. Once you enter, you become the fragrance of the flowers, unafraid of the prickle of the thorns.
Because you are the love.
Yeah.
It's literally.
Yeah.
You're not even living in the realm of the thorns.
Mm-mm.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
So,
It,
so
yeah. And for me, another piece on that thorns is like
yeah,
the outside world can be those thorns. When you are in that place, you don't need to be afraid of
yeah,
those prickles and thorns. Yeah.
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 From that place, like for me in my world, I actually know what there is to say or do in any moment. So even if there are thorns, it's like
Yeah.
however they move through in some weird way that I'm not really sure how it happened, but it did.
Yeah.
So, Tanya, that was so beautiful. Really, so powerful, so beautiful. So, just like my word is, ah, that's my word.
Yeah.
So, dude, we're gonna post your information into the comment field so that if If anyone wants to find Tanya, you can find her. But in the meantime, if you ever need to come back to the garden of your heart, I couldn't imagine a more perfect person to take you there than Tanya, because she embodies it. I mean, that is her. What we all just did together, it literally is who she is. And when you're around someone who embodies, like, it's who they had to become, and then it's what they're meant to pay forward in the world because it's who they had to become to flourish in this life.
Mhm.
When you were around people who've embodied their journey, it's just infectious, and we take in it's like the gift of who they are is so easy open to open up our receptors to receive them because it's so authentic and real. And so, Tanya, thank you for having the courage to go on your journey so we get to be the blessed and humble receivers of the gift of that lovely guided meditation. I just feel so blessed to have you as a little piece of soul family, and in my heart, you're a part of my garden. So, so
Thank you. I enjoyed being here. Thank you.
yes,
Yeah.
thank you, everyone. Remember tomorrow. Tomorrow is supposedly the last day, supposedly. And on day 21, we got but it's such a full circle to have our next guest. And you know her, Tanya. It's Brooke
Oh,
Yancey. Yeah. So we're gonna do some dancing into the next evolutions with Brooke. She's she's a whole other energy. You know, she has embodied what she does. She's just and I'm so glad that we get to celebrate the end of at least this sequence with her. And I cannot wait to bring her and have you guys actually know that little soul. It's so funny. That was her calling. Pretty funny, don't you think? It's really funny. It's kind of funny.
yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, you can't make this stuff up, right? So everybody, please, you guys, to continue this journey, one of the things, just go and check out the link about reset and renew, about your life, about the evolutions. We really are all about the speed at which being able to have grace in times of great change and being able to embody the operating system that's evolving so quickly. So check out Reset and Renew. But in the meantime, go back and listen to some of these. Go back, listen over and over again. If you love this meditation, like, put it on every Friday, share it with some friends. And of course on YouTube, like us and follow us and get the notifications. So happy to have you guys here. I see so many people from their recent embodiment workshop listening right now. Blessed, truly blessed, you guys. Just thank you all for coming. Thank you, Tanya.
Thank you.
You're you're just the perfect person for this series, because I can't imagine anything but having reverence for the love of being in your heart. Having done that meditation, it was really lovely and such a great respite from this world, knowing that there's a whole other place we can go that just
Mhm.
absolutely is otherworldly and just as real. So, so thanks, bud. I love you. Thank you,
Love you.
everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Mwah!